everybody. I am so excited to be here today. I hope you had a safe and happy and wonderful Labor Day and spent time with your family, decompressed and put your life in priority of your faith first, your family second, and your business and your career third. I'm excited to share with you today many fabulous things from many fabulous people. We're going to talk about your image. We're going to talk about your profits, and we're going to talk about your business so you can truly move forward with clarity and purpose. I'm Kathleen Hawkins, your proud president and founder of WOAMTEC, and I am super proud this month because we have some didactic things happening within our organization. We have 13 new chapters expanding in the next 6 to 8 weeks, and that just fills my heart with joy and my life with pride. And I'm so excited to say that we are not only making a difference in our communities and changing lives and building relationships, but we are helping those that need our help the most. I can tell you that I'm super excited to say that Magnolia, Texas, the Magnolia, Texas chapter won our Jeans Challenge. But you know, even though they're the winners, and Tanya Lavoie and all of your members, I am so proud of you for what you've done. I'm proud of everybody in the United States for helping us. We collected over 12,000 pairs of jeans to helping children feel more comfortable in their jeans and starting back to school with focus and with confidence, and you know, with just that staple item in their wardrobe that every child needs to feel successful with who they are and to accept the genes that God gave them, the genes that they were blessed with, the person that they are. And you know, speaking about feeling comfortable with yourself, we're going to talk to an amazing member today that's going to help us feel comfortable with our image, no matter who we are, because it is all about feeling confident with the gift that you've been given, the body that you've been given, the life that you've been given, and to not only take a look at your lives, but to take a look at how you can be a blessing to others. Our first segment that we're going to share with you today is about image. It's about building your image, but understanding how your image is going to affect your brand. And that's why I was so proud of the jeans drive that we did and how we made a difference with helping people feel comfortable with who they are. As I mentioned, Magnolia collected over 1,000 pairs of jeans. Heathrow chapter, go Heathrow, you collected over 800. Dr. Phillips, you collected almost 500. Actually, Winter Park collected 501. They had a 501 blue jeans campaign, and I'm just so proud about that. But it's not just about helping children in foster care or women who are abused. It's really about taking a look at the women that are in your lives, whether they're your children or your mothers, your sister or your best friend, whether they're business associates in your community. It's truly about taking a look at who's in your life right now and how can you make them feel more comfortable with who they are and with the image that they have, and just embrace every moment in their life. Because you know what? I think every man that's watching today will contest that if a woman's not happy, nobody's happy in that household. And it's truly important to find who you are and to make a difference with who you are in order to embrace that so you can make a difference in the lives of others. And that's really what WOAMTEC's about, is empowering other people and building those relationships. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first guest, who's an amazing woman. I'm so proud to have her on the segment with us today. I was blessed to have her speak at our last Heathrow WOAMTEC meeting. Maria, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Maria Rogner, and I'm a certified image consultant, and I have over 30 years of experience in professional technology sales in the banking industry.
Oh, wow.
So I know very well how important our image is to our success. I had the opportunity of working with banks. I'd get off an airplane, have to go in, establish rapport, credibility, and trust, and cooperation, because I wanted them to spend a lot of money with me. So I've retired from that, and I'm taking those skills and my passion and understanding of fashion and style to be able to help other women do the same thing.
I think that's awesome. And, you know, one of the things that I've seen in all the years of all the consulting and assessments that I've done, one of the things that I've seen is that often people, you know, in the banking industry, or even here, we're in Orlando, we are in Mickeytown. We know that when you're in Mickeytown, you have a certain image that you have to portray, and you're not going to get promoted into management unless you look like management, unless you're going to follow the guidelines and the image that they have. So whether you work at a bank or you work at corporate America, there is an image that you have to portray and that you have to have. But what I've seen is more than that, and I think that this is what you can help us share, is entrepreneurs often, when you're an entrepreneur, you sit behind your own desk, you're in your own office, you're creating your own atmosphere and your own environment, and sometimes we get a little complacent, yes. Sometimes we get a little comfortable, and we think just because I can wear flip-flops and capris every day means I should wear flip-flops and capris every day. And you know, people, we don't want people to judge, but do people judge us by the way we dress?
We do. You know, God judges us by the beauty inside of us, but man judges us by what they see on the outside, unfortunately. And within 7 seconds of meeting someone, They've made opinions about you, about your age, about your education, about your moral values, about your credibility. And they, based on those, they're determining whether they want to do business with you or not. And so in that 7 seconds, it's powerful of creating a good visual first impression, because it's very, very difficult to change that. And what's important is that looking beautiful, looking confident, sending out messages about our images that says that we're, we're current, we're credible, we're confident, and we're successful is extremely important, because people like to do business with successful people.
Absolutely. And I think that one thing that most people can probably say is if you're not dressed current, if you don't look confident, if you don't have the image that people are expecting when they come to meet you, it is going to say you're not as successful, you're not as confident, you're not as positive, you're not as didactic of an individual, and all of those things would or could affect the sale. They may love you, they may like you, they may think you're the nicest person in the world, but they may question your credibility. Is that true?
Yeah, they might not trust you to buy your products or buy your services, and that's what you really want to do. But the thing I would want everybody to remember is that when we're talking about our image, we're not talking about everybody having to have a perfect body. Nobody has a perfect body. The magazines, they don't even look like that. They've been airbrushed and touched up and photoshopped, and we could all look great.
Absolutely.
So what's important to understand is that we're all born with a specific body type, and everything that you wear and you put on should work with your body type the way God's designed you.
So if there's somebody that's watching today and if they're saying, you know what, I'm not sure I don't know what my body type is. I remember I was speaking in Arizona once, okay? Now this is probably 30 pounds heavier ago, but we were in Arizona and there was someone speaking about body types and image, and I said to her, what am I? Am I a pear? Am I an apple? And she went, you're round. And I was like, okay, how do you dress a donut? Like, I don't know how to work with that. And it really just flabbergasted me. So if there's somebody that's out there and you're feeling round and you don't know what to do and you look in your closet and you're like, I don't know what to do, is there hope for those people?
Absolutely. There are basically 4 different body types. And it's not about having the perfect body, but it's about establishing proportion. Whether we carry our fluff, we don't have fat, we have fluff, in the center, in our bellies, or in our derrieres, or in our upper area, or we have the perfect hourglass shape. Whatever that is, they can all be dressed so that they look balanced and proportioned, which makes you look thinner, and it really helps you feel better about yourself.
That's awesome. That is terrific. And I know that one of the things that you're doing today is you're going to share to anybody that connects with you. How can people connect with you, first of all?
Just through my email address, mariarogner@me.com.
Okay, mariarogner@me.com. And Tanya will type that on Facebook if you don't have that information, but you can also find her through the WOAMTEC directory, because she is a fantastic WOAMTEC member of the Heathrow chapter. Go Heathrow. Yeah. But you can connect with her there, and if you connect with her, she's going to share the top 3 tips to making you look thinner, because there are 3 things that we can do to lose 10 pounds?
There's about 3 things that everybody could do that will instantly make you look 10 pounds thinner.
Okay,
Believe it or not.
That's awesome. So here, we finally made it to the Dr. Oz challenge. You don't have to buy all the supplements. You just have to talk to Maria, and you'll be there. Lose 10 pounds in the next 48 hours by connecting with her, which is important. Now, one of the things that you mentioned, and I know you said that you want people to feel comfortable with who they are, but how important is image, and how does it affect your ultimate brand? Like, is image just when I meet you at a networking meeting, or I meet you at the grocery store, or I meet you, like is it beyond just your physical appearance?
Oh, it's certainly beyond your physical appearance, because they meet you for a second or 2 or a few minutes, or maybe you have a little longer. But you have your brand that you do in your advertising, in your promotions, on your website, and you need to have a consistent image. And we all have a different fashion personality or a different style. And we need to be true to what your natural style is. There's a saying that style is timeless and fads pass away very quickly. And so you really need to be your own unique self. And that's what we're talking about with your image, is being in touch with that and dressing in the style that you feel comfortable in for your lifestyle, for your business, and for your body shape, and to wear the colors that are most complementary to you.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't do that, then makes the difference in looking sharp and vibrant and fresh, or looking tired and dull and old.
Absolutely. You know, that's so true. And I know that I've done business assessments with people that were younger and they wanted to be taken more seriously in the business world, and they wanted to have more of a professional image. They didn't want to look old, but they wanted to they didn't want to look like a little kid. And then I've also done assessments with people that were becoming lawyers or were becoming doctors, and they didn't feel as though people were taking them serious enough because they did look younger. And even when I taught at the university, you know, the dean of the university looked at me and he said, people want older gray-haired men teaching their business classes. Now, if I would have been prepared to teach business classes back then, I would have known that he was testing me to see if I had enough kahunas to say, excuse me, you're violating EEOC regulations and I'm going to throw your butt under the bus, because that's what a real business person would have been able to do. But I took it with intimidation and I cowered down because I didn't have the look that they thought. And even that look goes on. I mean, we hear it all in America's Got Talent and American Idol and The Voice and all that. Like the look, it's every look, no matter what your career profession is. So what are some of the things that you do for people to help establish what the look is for what they're trying to accomplish, and how important is it that they meet with somebody and get an outsider's perspective?
What's interesting to do is to get to know the person, because you need to get to know what's their lifestyle, what are their preferences, what do they feel comfortable in. Really, we talk about fashion, personality, and style, but there are 4 different ones. You know, are you a natural person? Are you a modern classic? Are you a creative individual? Or are you more of a fashionista? You know, you're on the leading edge. And you don't try to turn someone into something that they're not. And then you go through a wardrobe assessment with them, and you look at the clothing that they have. And ladies, clothing does have an expiration date. It really does. But you need to have realistic assessment of what's in your wardrobe and make sure that, number 1, it's current. Number 2, it flatters your body type and still fits your personality, so that when you wear it, you feel good about how you look. And when you go through this by evaluating, eliminating, and accentuating, whether it's your body type, your fashion personality, your wardrobe, all of those work together. And it helps you to save time, save money, have more clothes, really more outfits and less clothes, so that you feel good every time you go to your closet. And you're eliminating guilt. There's not clothes in there that have been there for 20 years. They don't fit your personality anymore, and they don't fit your body. I mean, when I did my own wardrobe assessment, I had the perfect fitted wardrobe. I had the misfits, the unfit, probably never fit, probably never will fit again. So you have to go through those and eliminate those, because if you go to the closet and you loved it but you can't wear it, you feel guilty.
Absolutely. You know, that's so funny, because my daughter Michelle, she was trying to be kind one day, and she actually went into my closet, and my closet organization didn't make sense to her, and she's kind of borderline OCD. So she went into my closet and she decided she was going to reorganize, and everything was going to be color coded, and all the shirts were going to be together, all the pants were going to be together. And I walked in there and I went, I don't know what fits me. Like, I had it based on this was too small, this is my next weight, you know. And it can be overwhelming, but you're right. There's a huge sense of guilt, and I have all these clothes, but I don't have anything to wear. And how does that make your clients feel?
Well, once you get it done, it's cathartic. I mean, it absolutely is. What's interesting to note is that women typically wear 10% of their clothes 90% of the time. Has anybody ever heard the expression, a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear?
Absolutely.
That's how you get there. The other way you get there is by spending so much time and attention dressing your children, dressing your husband, and dressing yourself last. So you go to the store, you buy whatever's on sale, you buy lots of black because you think it's thinning.
She's speaking to me, you realize this, right?
And then you go to one day you wake up and you look in the mirror and you say, she looks frumpy.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that about? And that's how that happens. And that's how you get a closet full of clothes with nothing to wear. So when you do a wardrobe assessment, you really look at what is your core wardrobe that really works for you now. What do you need to enhance that to have a balanced wardrobe? And you go shopping with a purpose. You know exactly what your body type is, so you know what styles and shapes you need to wear. You know what colors are flattering. You go to the store. I don't go to black. I look like I had a date with Dracula. I mean, it's not a pretty picture. Loved it, doesn't love me. You know, if you look at a sale, again, you're not buying something because of the price. If the price is more attractive than the item, don't buy it. And if you don't love it at the store, you're really not going to like it when you get home. It's just not going to be a good picture.
Right.
So again, you start building a wardrobe with a plan, and then it all works together. And that's how you save time and money. And then when you go to your wardrobe, you've got more than 10% of your clothes that you know you're going to feel good in.
That's
so
awesome.
It's really having a plan and knowing who you are, who your best authentic self is, what your lifestyle is, and then building that wardrobe that everything that you put on works with the way God made you.
I think that's wonderful, and I think that's really important for all of us to take into consideration because, you know, all too often we take a look at what we're wearing, we don't feel 100%, and it shows. And if you're wearing 10% of your wardrobe over and over and over again, you know, one of the things that I've discovered lately is I talk to people all the time about how important Facebook is in communicating and building your brand because you may say it doesn't matter, I'm going to be my natural self, and I don't care if people judge me. It matters, and they judge you. So get with it and understand that everything you do right now is being captured by photographs or videos and being plastered all over the internet, and that will create the brand that you're building in your community with your children, with your family, with your friends, and your business associates. But more importantly is if you're wearing 10% of your wardrobe all the time, you're going to be wearing the same thing in everything, in every photo, in every meeting, in every event that you do, everywhere you go. I mean, I look at it and I'll look back at YouTube videos and I'll go, I have to retire that jacket. I've made 4 videos wearing that jacket, and it may be 4 videos over the course of a year and a half. But if you're really marketing yourself, it quickly adds up, and it happens very quickly. So, some of the ways that you can work with people, and it doesn't matter where you're at in the United States, she can, or in the world, she can work with you via Skype, via phone. She can work with you in lots of different settings.
Right.
So, if somebody wanted to either do a wardrobe analysis, just talk to you about their body shape, what style of clothing would be best for them, then you would encourage them to email you or call you?
Email me preferably, and then we can set up a time to talk and an appointment, and I have surveys and assessments so that I can understand who you are and a lot about you and your lifestyle. And then we can set up Skype. I can look at photographs if you have that can look at you and assess you, and we can do measurements together that way. I prefer in person if possible, but if not, Skype works great.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us.
My
and
pleasure.
again, some of the people that are here today, you're going to have the opportunity to run the 3 tips of how to lose 10 pounds by connecting with her. So
no, you're looking thinner.
Looking thinner.
Not losing 10 pounds.
Looking like you've lost 10 pounds. Well, it's better than adding 10 pounds by being on camera.
It is.
See, I'm really 10 pounds thinner. It's the camera that's doing it.
Yes, absolutely.
Whatever. Believe what you want to believe. The bottom line is we all want to look our best, but more importantly, we want to feel our best. And she can help make that happen with you. So thank you so much for being here today.
My
It's a
pleasure.
pleasure having you on the show. And I hope each and every one of you can find the confidence in who you are with the body God's given you. And whether you're a man or a woman, it really does matter because you should feel good about who you are. You're going to be able to connect with people, build stronger relationships, and close more sales if you can make that happen. So thank you, Maria. I appreciate it again.
Thank you.
It was
My
a pleasure,
pleasure.
and I hope you connect with her soon. Yeah. So we've got two more fantastic guests I'm so excited to have on the show today. Before we introduce those guests, I do want to talk to you a little bit. We have something big coming up in 2015. We have our Confident Woman National Conference, and right now I want to connect with you. If you are somebody that is watching this show that would like to make a difference in business professionals, whether it's a man or a woman, like to make a difference in their lives and share with us something educational, empowerment, inspirational, motivational, whatever it may be. We are looking for 8 breakout session speakers that want to do 45-minute breakout sessions. Typically, our audience is between 100 to 200 people for the breakout sessions. It's an intimate setting where you can actually sit down and get to know people and spend 45 minutes really training and consulting and working with our attendees of our national conference. But we are also looking for 3, actually 2, because I kind of already picked somebody. We're looking for 2 keynote speakers that are willing to do a 15 to a 20-minute stage live on our main stage. It's a great advertising opportunity. You will connect with 300 to 400 fabulous women and a few good men too. And I want to connect with you. We want to get all of our speakers lined up by October 1st. So if you are interested in being a participant, go to WOAMTEC.com. You can view more information or email me at info@WOAMTEC. That's spelled WOAMTEC.com. And I'd love to learn more about what you can teach our members and how you can make a difference in the lives of business people within our community. So speaking of making a difference in business people's lives, you know, the best way that you can increase your profits is to not spend as much money and understand your expenses. I talk to people all the time, and it's like nails on a chalkboard with me when they say, I want to double my income, triple my income, quadruple my income, and increase my expenses, but I'm not keeping track of them. I don't have a proper reporting system. I see my accountant once a year. I throw all of my receipts in a box, and it's like, do you realize the profit is in your expenses? If you know where your expenses are, or even, let's just say, and you're going to hear it from a CPA, she'll confirm it in just a second, but even if you're throwing 15 grand a year in meals and entertainment or business presentations, and you feel as though you want to increase your income by $15,000, maybe you should think about not eating out as much. You know, maybe you really need to take a look at that. Maybe there are expenses that you're spending in your business that you're doing just because you got into the habit of doing it, but you don't need to do that. So the next person I'm going to talk to you about is going to teach you how to keep your profits and what is important about having a strong financial plan, an accounting system, and an accountant that's good enough to say, what are you doing? Like, are you really wanting to run your business like this, or do you just want to have a hobby? You know, be truthful with what you do. So, Jaye, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Tell everybody who you are and where you work and what you do.
I'm Jaye Majors. My business is Majors Accounting Innovations. I've been doing what I do for about 36 years, half of it in the corporate world, corporate controller, CFO, etc., and half of it in public accounting. And I marry both. I'm your controller for hire. I'm your profit and growth expert. That's what I want to be for your business all year long, not just at tax time. Because by tax time, a lot of times it's too late for me to save you or for you to save yourself. And just like Kathleen was saying, it's critical that you start out with a plan. It's critical that you work that plan just like anything else. Just like you would wear your clothing, as we have just heard. You have to have a plan for that. Well, you've got to have a plan for managing your finances, organization tools, etc. You need to have that in place.
You can't run a business, and I don't care if it's a direct sales business or if you're a doctor. I've talked to doctors, I've talked to lawyers that are in business for themselves and still trying to figure out how to run a business. You cannot have a business unless you're going to be willing to treat it like a business. And part of being a business owner doesn't just mean I'm good at selling weight loss products. Part of being a business owner doesn't mean I'm good at taking photos and doing photography. It's really saying I'm going to treat this like a business, and where I'm weak, I'm going to bring somebody else in that's going to be strong. And if that means a financial person, that's great. If that means it's a social media or a marketing expert, that's great. But you have to be able to assess your weaknesses and build your strengths to really reach your goals and become the person that you need to become. So with that being said, I want to back up for just a minute, because having taught marketing and business courses on a master's level, I know what a comptroller is. I know what a profit and loss expert is. There's a lot of people that are out there that aren't using QuickBooks, that don't have solid, they don't know how to read reports, they don't know what a balance sheet is or an income statement is. So if somebody's watching and they don't know what a comptroller is, that's what I liked the most about you when I heard that, because if I could have somebody on staff right now that would be watching every dime that came in and out of our organization, that's like one of the best gifts that you can be given, because that's somebody that's going to be able to see things from a different perspective. We're passionate about things. We think we need to spend money on this marketing. We think we need to purchase this equipment because we're passionate about it, not logical about it always. So what is a comptroller?
Well, the comptroller is the person who helps you get everything in line. The comptroller is the person who keeps the three balls in your business: the marketing, the production, and the finance all together. And the finance kind of controls it all. We watch where you're spending your money, where you're throwing away your money. Why aren't you hitting your sales goals and your sales targets? Are you spending too much on a certain particular item? Should you buy a new item instead? Should you seek financing? Well, you can't even seek financing if you don't have good profit and loss and balance sheet. Critical areas you need to look at, and every month, if you have a real business and you want to have a real business that's going to make money, support you, your children, etc., every month you need to be analyzing your balance sheet and your profit and loss statement to see where you're going, what are your trends, month over month, quarter over quarter, year over year, to see what's happening in your business and what's changing in your industry. But beyond that, you have to be keeping track of accounts receivable. Who owes you money? How much do they owe you? How long have they owed it to you? No wonder you can't pay your bills. Your receivables are 90 days old. You've got to get on top of collection. Who do you owe? That's your accounts payable. When did you buy that? Why haven't you paid them? Well, what happened to the money? Well, I used it on these personal expenses. Whoa, is this a business or is this a hobby? Keep the business as a business. Run it like a business. And that gets to the bank account. Reconcile that bank account every month.
I reconciled last month already. Are you proud of me?
Yay!
And there was a holiday on Monday. I'm pretty proud.
And how much money did you find? If you're not reconciling your bank account, you don't know how much is going out on needless stuff, or if there's fraud going on. And your credit cards as well. You need to be reconciling your credit cards, and you need a separate bank account and a separate credit card for the business and for your personal, and never the twain shall meet.
Okay, I'm going to stop you for just a second, because I know that there are some people that are out there right now having heart palpitations saying, I'm just trying to make money and keep my business going. I don't know how to keep it separate, and I think that's why I was so excited about having you on this segment, because most members that I do assessments with, what I find out is they're running their business with the goal that I'm going to make this much this year and I'm going to do these things. And they're running their business, it's sometimes a part-time hobby, it's sometimes a part-time business, it's sometimes I like the flexibility of being able to keep my family a priority, and God bless you, I think that's fantastic. But if you're just meeting with an accountant once a year and you're just getting through your taxes, you're probably not being coached on, okay, these are the decisions that you're making, and if you choose to make those decisions and keep it a hobby, good for you, but don't expect these results a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. If you're choosing not to make this a business and you're really going to look at me in July and you're going to say, I want to make this happen by the end of the year, a true financial person is going to be able to say, these are the things that you have to do. You have to make this happen. And just yesterday, I had an assessment with somebody that wanted to increase her income to $1,500. She admitted that she was only working about 10, 15 hours a week. And I've done enough assessments to tell you that if she says 10 or 15, that probably means 8 to 10. That's just the reality of it. And in talking to her, the reality came to fruition that she only could work because she only had a babysitter 2 nights a week. Now, honestly, if you crunch those numbers, it's going to be really hard to make $1,500 2 nights a week if you're working 8 to 10 hours a month. If it's too good to be true, it often is. Wouldn't you agree with that? That you have to be real with your income, your expenses, your cost of goods, and everything that you're doing in order to determine your bottom line. And what happens when somebody isn't being real with those numbers and they're not being real with keeping track of their finances?
Well, first of all, they're never going to be able to get anywhere. The key is planning and effective and efficient executing of your plans, but you've got to have the information and the numbers behind that. You can do it, but if you're going to go on a razor-thin plan, then your numbers have to be that much closer carved, and you have to stay on top of them that much more. So either you've got to get somebody to help you with that, or you've got to plan a little time to actually look at those numbers. People who don't, you are never going to get anywhere. It's like when you sit down at your computer. How many hours do you spend Facebooking versus really doing work? All right, the same thing in the numbers themselves. What are they really doing for you? What is the return on the investment you're making? What investment are you willing to make? Have you decided where you need to target your investment? What dollars are you going to spend either in marketing? Do you need to ramp up some tools? Tools are critical, for example, for a photographer or for an electrical contractor. Maybe you're a service business. You don't need as many tools, but you need the hours and the time in the day. So you've got to determine what it is you need, and the places and the numbers. The numbers are going to get you where you need to go, whatever you're doing. And I find this a total failure to plan. And then when you do get a plan, the plan needs to be a good plan, failure to take action if you don't act on it. If you're looking at your numbers and saying, well, why aren't they as good as they were last year? Well, what happened this year over last year? Was it something in your industry, or was it a failure on your part? Did you even bother looking? Is the only thing you did for your accounting throw everything at your tax person and have him throw you back some pieces of paper at the end of the year. It's not enough if you want to have a real business.
You know, and I can tell you that and I wasn't doing accounting two years ago. Okay, 2 years ago somebody else was doing accounting. I had an accountant, but somebody else was doing the bookkeeping and giving everything to my accountant. And since I started taking over it, really looking at the numbers in the reports that I'm pulling and the numbers in the reports that they're giving me has really taught me a lot as a business owner, because it's like, wait, why don't these two things match up? They should. So I look back in how many years, in 30 years that Jeff and I have been in business, how many years were maybe the reports not accurate or matching up because you're just kind of trusting. It's not your forte, so you're just kind of trusting somebody else to know your business as well as you do and to do it right. I think that's critical, and you can make a vital error in your business, but also be spending money in places you don't need to be spending money.
Well, here's where I really get shocked, or I don't really get so shocked so much anymore, and any banker is going to tell you. If you have a set of financials and the numbers say one thing, and that tax return that tax guy did for you says something else, that banker is going to look at you like you're a nutcase, especially if you can't explain anything to them about what those numbers are. And the bottom line is, do you know what that tax person did to you? Do you know how much you could have saved on taxes had he gotten the right answers from you? Had he taken the time to get to know you and your business? Had you taken the time all year long to sit with him to get the proper advice on the type of expenditures that you have? What's deductible, what's not, what you can use, and the things that are going to get you in trouble, not only in your profit picture, but with the tax man.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about that for just a minute, because I think the profit picture is very important. Like, it's not just about running your business and knowing I can write this off, I can write that off, I can write that off, because often what people will do is they'll shove everything towards expenses. It'll lower their net income, it'll lower their bottom line, and it'll make it look as though you don't have as much equity. But if you would have chose to take members draw or owner's draw instead of writing it off, you could be in a better, more sounder financial situation where you're actually able to get the equity on the loan that you need for the equipment that you need or the employee that you need to be able to double your income revenue and make more money. So those are smart decisions that you really have to talk to somebody that's able to coach you through this and help you make it happen. And we've got a lot of amazing CPAs, and I haven't done assessments with all of you, so if you're a CPA and I haven't met with you and talked to you, please reach out and schedule your business assessment with WOAMTEC Corporate, because I want to know more of you that are out there that get this, that aren't just processing paperwork, that aren't just taking a look at what the receipts that people hand them at the end of the year and saying, okay, let's just throw these numbers into this form and take care of as many clients as we possibly can. I am looking to connect with CPAs that are going to look at their clients, that are going to coach them through how to have financial success, how to be honest with the goals that they want in their life and in their business, and how to reach those goals by either cutting back their expenses, increasing their income, or being true with their financial status. And I think that you're helping people do that. And I know you're going to be giving away a prize to, what did you say, 5 people?
The first 5 people that call, you will get a half-an-hour consultation with me. Email me the first 5 emails I get, and it'll be the most critical questions that you have, the things that are upsetting you the most with running your finances and running your business. How can I help you in 30 minutes?
Okay, I think that's awesome. Now, how do they reach you? How do they call you? How do they email you? How do they connect?
With my email.
Okay, so what's your email address?
JAYEM723@AOL.com.
Okay, and if you want to know how to connect with her, again, it's Jaye Majors. Tanya will tell you what it is on Facebook, and you can connect with her through the WOAMTEC member directory as well. Her email will be linked there. My suggestion to you would be, take a look at the 5 questions, like she said, that are troubling you the most. The 5 things that maybe you asked your accountant, but it just didn't sit well. Like, you just want a second opinion, or you just want to make sure that they gave you the right answer. Because I know that sometimes, they may think that they know your business, but they may not know your business as much as you know your business. So ask those questions to her and take advantage of that half-an-hour complimentary consultation, because it can change your life, but most of all, it can increase your profits. So thank you, Jaye, so much for being here today. It was a pleasure. It truly was. you were honest, and I hope that those 5 people connect with you, but I hope that more than 5 people connect with you, because you know what? Just give her a call and say hello, and you never know what will happen with that, and who she may be able to refer you to, maybe not even here, but in a different state. You never know what doors will open for it. So again, I appreciate it. Now don't go away, because we have somebody else that's going to be on the show in the next segment, and I'm super excited about this. Steve Placey is also a fantastic member of WOAMTEC, and he is going to rock your business. I have actually attended seminars and conferences that he has done, and he gets it. He's an amazing man. You know, Jaye gets accounting and finances, and Maria gets image and branding, and how your appearance can affect your success, whether you're a singer or a photographer or an accountant or, you know, an athlete. It doesn't matter, a doctor. It doesn't matter what it is. It all makes a big difference. But I'm here to kind of just chat with you a little bit about how to change your business and how to take a look at, I want to say, your authentic self, how to take a look at truly what you want in your business and truly what you want in your goals. You know, one of the things that I've discovered over the past several years is there's so many people that say, this is what I want to accomplish. And they'll call and we'll do an assessment and they'll say, okay, tell me how to make this happen. And I'll give them advice and I'll give them suggestions, and then I'll follow up and I'll watch, and they're still not doing that advice or that suggestions. And it may be that they didn't appreciate my suggestion or my advice. But all too often I find out is that they're really not being true to what they're hoping to accomplish, and they're really not being true to their goals and to their life and what they're trying to achieve. So this guest I brought on is I really want to talk a little bit about how he can teach us how to rock our business, how entrepreneurs have a tendency of failing instead of succeeding, and some of the things that you might want to just use as a checklist in your life and in your business to say, hey, do I need to make a change here? Because you know the first step to improvement is identifying the problem and making that happen. So Stephen, thank you so much for being here.
Yay,
I'm so glad to have you.
Hey.
Yay. Tell everybody who you are and what company you represent.
My name is Stephen Placey, and my company is called Rock Your Business Incorporated, and we do lead generation, sales conversion, and lots of times people just say, you know, we help them get moving. A lot of people are great innovators, so we help them take their ideas and actually put the rubber to the road and actually make things happen for them, which is the only way you progress.
Absolutely. You know, that's one of the biggest things that I have found is people, they come up with all these goals and they say they're going to do something, then they go, stop, and nothing happens, and they don't move forward. And I'm a firm believer of prioritizing, because I have 100 thousands of things on my list to do right now, and it's important to not just do a little here and a little bit there, but to really look at what needs to be done, what's the most important, what's going to draw the biggest thing, and what do you need to get out of the way to move forward. But sometimes people have all those things and then they go do this.
Sure.
And they ignore all those things. So what is one of the biggest things that you have found is, with all the entrepreneurs that you worked with and over all these years, what is one of the biggest mistakes they have a tendency of making?
Well, I think it's they get stuck innovating. They get stuck with a lot of ideas. They don't. I have a great saying. I said, it's better to be done than perfect. You know, a lot of people, they'll try to make everything perfect, and what happens is it'll just never get done. And I'll tell you, if you get out there and just start making things happen, get moving. I love what you said earlier about getting help. You know, if you can set that aside, set ego aside, set that aside, and just understand it's just kind of like the first step is self-awareness, that I can't do this by myself, or I shouldn't be doing this by myself. Then you can go out there and get help from good people that can help you move forward. And if that's the first thing, you know, I'm a big, there's a guy out there who calls himself the pit bull of personal development. And he basically says, look, if you're the only person in your business and your business stinks, then, you know, who should we blame? You know, and if people can't get past that first step and say, well, I'm to blame, but I'm going to do something about it, and that's the key part, then there's no one that can help them, ever. You know, so that's really the first step is self-awareness, just like you said, and then take steps to make it happen.
I think that's really important. And, you know, when I was a professor at the university, one of my instructors, my senior instructors, said to me, you know what, Kathleen, if you surround yourself with students your whole entire life, you will spend your life teaching, which I love to teach, so that's not a negative thing. Like, I cried when I left. But he said, but if you surround yourself with people that are smarter, wiser, and more successful, you'll spend your life learning. and you'll have more to teach. And that taught me something huge. And I will be honest with you, not too long ago I had a meeting with, I was kind of in a situation, I wanted affirmation. I wanted to know that what I was focusing on and where we were going was what not only God wanted me to do, but what was the right thing to do. So I was thinking about who's the smartest Christian man I know. And I thought of a gentleman by the name of Sam Serto, who's going to be one of our speakers at our Confident Women Conference. I'm super excited about. Men welcome, women required. And I reached out to him. He is the head of the Crummer School of Graduate at Rollins College. He's the head professor, the director of that program, the MBA level program, and he's also an elder at our church. And I thought, okay, can't go wrong there. Like, Rollins is a really good college, and he's the head of the MBA program. And so I brought my profit and loss statement, I brought our business strategy, I brought my concerns, we talked about it. And when you get validation from somebody like that that says, you need to keep moving forward, you're doing right, sometimes business people need that. Like, sometimes you just need to surround yourself with someone that can say, you know what, I like what you're doing, keep moving forward, right?
It's essential. I mean, this is what I do for a living. I've done it for many, many years. I have coaches that I talk to on a monthly basis to make sure I don't lose focus. They can see things that are right under my nose that I just don't see because we're just busy doing things. And I know you have people like that as well. And it's just essential. I mean, if you think, again, put everything else aside, stop running. I posted something the other day that says, you know, there's a big difference between being busy and progressing.
Amen.
And there's a huge difference there. And a lot of people can keep themselves very busy doing things, but they're not moving forward. And it's time to just stop, drop and roll, and just kind of stop for a second, assess, and then get the help where you have some deficiencies.
I love the fact that you just said that, because I see that often too when I'm talking to business people. Like, they're struggling here to make money, so then they're like, well, if I can just do this, I can do this too. And then if I can just do this, then I can do this too. And then before you know it, you're doing all these different things and you're not making money at any of them because you're mudding up your brand, and you just look like someone desperate to make money. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about it. If they have a product, a skill, or a service, and they feel as though it's viable. They feel as though, hey, this is something I can sell. Maybe they're in a business where they say, I like this product, I want to sell it, I want to promote it, or I'm good at this skill. I have a photography skill that I'm good at, or I have a CPA skill that I'm good at, whatever it is. But they may not have went to school for business. Like, I do this with a lot of doctors and lawyers. Like, they didn't go to school for business. And they're like, no. Kathleen, I'm trying to run my own business, but they didn't teach us business. What do we do? So what are some of the tips or suggestions you would teach those people to implement into their business to help automate some things to make life easier and allow them to do that skill, take pictures, be a doctor, be a lawyer,
sure,
but also be a business owner?
Gotcha. Well, and that's a great question. And one of the biggest things we do for people is we help them automate a lot of things. There's only so many hours in a day. I have children that are 10 and 6, and you have children, and a lot of people out there may have children, and other things that are happening. Life is always happening. So automating lead generation, automating follow-up. If I could leave here with nothing today and teach some people some stuff, is automating your follow-up. A lot of people, they start small businesses, and the way they go and market, since there's not a lot of marketing dollars, they go out to shake hands and kiss babies, you know, and they'll go out and network. They'll maybe do some talks at chambers or groups or WOAMTEC groups, whatever it is. But then where they fail is effective follow-up. They actually say most 95% of people don't do follow-up well, if at all. I mean, you see it. You'll go meet 100 people, and you know a lot of people. They should all follow up with you. How many actually follow up with
Never.
you?
Very
Two, three people. I see this. I'll go to an event with 300 people at it, drop my card, or a trade show, I'll drop my card in every bowl, and maybe I'll hear from 1 or 2 companies. Well, why are you at the show then? Aren't you there to meet people?
No, I want to feel like I'm working, but I don't want to cold
well,
call.
right. Well, you know, I honestly don't appreciate cold. I don't like cold calling myself. I don't like getting them, so I don't like doing them. So we've automating your follow-up where you can collect cards, shake hands, kiss babies, but then follow-up is the beginning of opportunity. Because otherwise, those stacks of business cards just sit there. And it's just, could be tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in missed opportunity, where if you can create a system where you go in and put their name and email address into this system and follow up with these people with messages that don't look like they're coming from a computer.
Right.
You know, that actually have good educational content, showcasing your knowledge to people.
You know, it's funny because I was just going to ask you, video marketing is something else that I know that you're knowledgeable
Huge.
on, and I think it's huge because people do business with people they know, like, and trust, and you have to become an authoritative figure in your field and in your community. They're not going to hire you as an image consultant if they don't feel confident on your knowledge, and if you don't have the look. You know, that's one of the biggest faux pas I see. You know, yeah, I'm going to help you with your image. I look horrible, but you know, you need to make sure that you're composed and you're put together, but you need to be an authoritative figure. You need to look the part that you're trying to proclaim. What is the best way to become an authoritative figure and to look the part that you're trying to portray? How do you teach people your knowledge?
Well, and some people, well, I do it through video marketing, you know, and I love what Maria said earlier that, you know, I was talking to her earlier and she said, you know, cameras put 10 pounds on you. Well, it puts 50 pounds on me. I'm actually only about 140 pounds. But, you know, it's something I deal with in my life, but, you know. See, there's a lot of people doing a lot of what everybody out here does. There's whether you're a life coach or you're a CPA, there's thousands of them and more coming out every day, you know, and there's a lot of fakers out there. We see that, you know, people are becoming business coaches because they read one book about being, you know, a business. So separating yourself by showing your knowledge, you can't fake that. And honestly, since people buy people, you know, you can showcase your energy, your passion. That's what people can see about you right away. You're passionate about what you do, Kathleen, and that's why, you know, me and we have 4-hour lunches.
Hate it. This is
let's go.
Drama,
what are we doing here? It's happy hour, right? Somewhere. So, you know, but showcasing your passion, showcasing your knowledge, showing that you care is gigantic. And you can showcase that in video that you can't showcase that in any other way. We've been doing it for 3 years. It was the #1 thing we've ever done for our business. And honestly, we were really bad at it when we started. I took a 480p camera, not even a high-def camera, back in my backyard. I have a lot of tropical vegetation back there. And I stood in front of this big philodendron that we had back there, and I just started talking and just telling people little bits of knowledge about lead generation and follow-up and business development tips. And in the first year we did it, we can attribute another $100,000 in revenues the first year we did it because of those videos. Because we were showing people what they do. I would get people emailing and calling us just saying, you know what, I saw your video. I love that you're wearing jeans. I love that you're in front of the plants. Not even what I said, but just I liked you. I liked your energy, and bang. And they would call me up. I love what you said. Imagine this as a first call, Kathleen. I love what you said. I know what you do. I just need to figure out how much it's going to cost for you to do it for me.
See,
that's
awesome.
the first call.
That's so much better than, you know, what is it that you do and how much does it cost? It's different. It's like you're already sold. You already got past that, you know, selling yourself versus selling price. And that's the biggest mistake that people make. You know, I think that, I love that you said that, and I think that getting beyond that is important, getting beyond what everybody else is doing. And so I want to just take a moment and talk about this because, yes, it does make you more approachable when you're outside with flowers in the background, you're wearing jeans, and you look like an approachable person because you don't want to intimidate people. You don't want to look like somebody that they can't relate to. Or maybe you do, you know, who knows? Maybe you do. Maybe you want to be that, you know, maybe I would hire a Shark Tank to consult with me if I could, you know, I would say, just spend 2 hours with me, let me pick your brain.
Sure.
So maybe you do, but one of the things that I wanted to say is the more people blog, the more people do video posts, the more they're claiming themselves as expert. I also think, and I want your opinion on this, I also think the more they need to step it up a notch and you need to be more competitive. You need to look more commercial. You need to blog more commercially. Your materials need to be more commercial so you always look a step above. Does that make sense? And do you agree with that?
Yeah, not only a step above, but I think a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to fit in when they should be really worried about how they stand out.
That's awesome.
You know, and that's something that's I wish I would have made that up. I wish that was my saying. I think that's something I've heard recently, and I love that because it's so true. There's a lot of people doing this mainstream thing. If you know, my company's Rock Your Business. Me coming with a 3-piece suit. When I do my videos, this is what I wear. This is what I taught to people. Yes, I wear pants and I wear things, and Maria's going to give me some tips, I'm sure, about doing those things as well. But you know, people can expect that. It's my brand. It's me. You know, and that's the things we teach people. Be your brand. Show people who you are and what you do. You know, if I started doing my videos in a 3-piece suit, you know, and stuff, people would probably be like, well, he got hit in the head with his surfboard again, and what's happened to Steve, you know? So people like that, and showcase yourself. Again, people by people.
Okay, let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
Because I know that you share knowledge and you share information.
Yeah.
If somebody is wanting to coach, wanting to be a marketing advisor, wanting to train,
Yeah.
and they're doing more motivational stuff and less in-depth knowledgeable stuff, like how we were just talking about financing or how we're talking about marketing and branding and lead generation and true things like that, would you agree that most people that are marketing experts, business advisors, consultants that can coach on an executive level, based upon your CEO coaching that you've done in the past, wouldn't you agree that they're more likely to be willing to share in-depth knowledge rather than sell it up first, because they know they're already going to be successful, and if they help the under guy take a little bit of a step forward, they're going to be more likely to take a bigger step with them? Would you agree with that?
Oh, I agree with that 1,000,000%. You know, it's showcasing what you know. See, the best thing, I always talk about testimonials and showing people what you know. Yes, you there's also the other end that people say, I just want to do everything for free and the world will come to me. Well, it is great, but you can't pay your bills with smiles.
Right.
You know, you need to be able to make money. It's a matter of, yes, helping these people out. Be honest with these people. I mean, I remember having a conversation with a gentleman that's a multimillionaire, you know, and I'm sitting in my office. He's sitting in one of his 3 or 4 mansions that he has, and I'm telling him things that are just, that other people won't say to him. Mm-hmm. Because I'm being honest with him and telling him things that these yes people won't say to him. You know, and that's what people respect, is that you'll be honest with people. Sometimes people need to hear the hard truth.
Absolutely.
It's okay, you know, and I've never had anybody fire me because of it. So, yes, telling people that stuff, showing your knowledge, help people out. You know, in these I got 300 educational videos out there. People will say, well, I don't want to give away my secrets. Well, I guess, you know, if you only have those few things, then you might want to consider another path. But the key is get people interested in what you do, showcase what you do, and it'll attract the people you want to attract, and they'll pay you for it, and they'll respect you for it.
Absolutely. I think that's great, and I think that's so important, and it also leads me, my husband and I, we've published 9 books together, and he used to always say, you're going to tell them all of that, and it's like, don't worry, by the time the book's out, I'm going to change it all. We're going to do more. We're going to grow. We're going to do it different, you know? And so all the other guys were like trying to keep catching up, so it's funny out there. But the other thing I wanted to mention is I think one of the biggest faux pas I think businesses make is they're trying to reach specific goals, and they're being unrealistic with their database, and they're being unrealistic with the amount of leads that they're generating to convert those into results. So how important is it, we talked about finances, how important is it for a business owner to say, this is my goal, identify my cost of goods, break it down into a number, identify how many numbers I need to close, and if you're closing everybody you're talking to, your price point is wrong, so you need to talk to Steve about that because he'll help you with that. But how many people do I need to talk to close those people to reach my goals? Or do I just throw it up against the wall and hope that something sticks? You know, that doesn't work. So how important is it to know those numbers and to analyze how many leads you need to generate on a consistent basis?
Yeah, and if I could, just for 1 second, say one more thing about what we were just talking about.
Absolutely.
I love that question. Talking about giving away information, I have a great friend, Mitch Levin, that says something. He says, you know what? I can show you how to do heart surgery. I can tell you every step. It's really not a hard, difficult thing. You cut the chest open, you spread it. Everybody kind of knows how to do it. No one's going to do it themselves. Mm-hmm. They're going to hire someone to do it for them. Thank goodness, you know? So, but anyway, your database. Yes, you have to know your goal. I had lunch with a mortgage broker today, and I said, okay, she wants to do, 5 figures in business every month. She wants to do this. She wants to, she wants to do 5-figure in business. We started breaking down the numbers. How many applications? How many closings is that a month? Okay, so out of 100 people, how many applications do you get? What are your percentages? And if you don't know your numbers, you better go figure them out. Or have someone help you figure them out. It's quite simple. And then you got to figure, okay, if I got to meet 100 people a month to meet my goals, where are you going to meet them? Go ahead and schedule those things out. Put them in your calendar where you know. And good people, your groups are very good. I've been to them.
Thank you.
The WOAMTEC groups, fantastic, energetic people. There's a lot of things out there that aren't not good. And I always tell people, I say, if you're the most successful person in the room, then I don't know if I would go network with that group anymore, because you need to be surrounding yourself with other people right, that could use your help, that you can learn from, things like that. And I think that's one of the other time wasters a lot of people do, is they'll network with people that are not near as successful as they are, and then you're going to get results based on that.
I think that's awesome, and I know that we can learn so much more from you, and I'm hoping that you're going to be one of our speakers at our 2015 National Conference. We're going to talk about that more.
Yeah.
You are giving away something today. You're giving away 15-minute brainstorming sessions and videos on your website, so what do they have to do to get those things?
Yeah, they can go to our website. Very simple. You can go see some of the videos we have on our website. If you go to rockyourbusinessnow.com, you can check out the videos there, see some of the things that we do, some of the crazy videos. There's some great funny ones on there and a lot of great education. Then we said, you know what? We want to just open it up. See, I love doing mastermind sessions and brainstorming sessions. So we said anybody that wants to do a 15-minute brainstorming session will get on the phone, email me, and they'll post the email on there, steve@rybnow.com. You email me.
RYB as in Rock Your Business.
rockyourbusinessnow.com, that's right. And we'll set up some 15-minute calls. And just brainstorm it. And you'll leave that call with ideas, and solutions and things you can start implementing right now, and lots of times I'll turn into more than 15 minutes, but, we'll go from there. And I'd love to do that with anybody out there that wants to do it. I'd love to see if I can help you out.
That is awesome, and that's so very sincere, and that just goes back to what I said, that somebody that is really authentic and wanting to help you and help you reach your goals and really be there to coach you through success and help you implement the things in your business that is going to be willing to help you for 15 minutes, because you've probably been there yourself. You've probably been at a point in your life, whether it be 10 years ago, 20 years, or 30 years, or whatever, that you needed somebody else's advice. I know I have some great mentors and some great people that have helped me through. So I had other things that I needed to end this segment with, but I kind of got dramatic and threw the piece of paper across the room, so I don't remember what those are. That's okay. I'm gonna do a little Jimmy Fallon here today. You don't have to throw that back at me. His program is called Rock Your Business, so I'm gonna make you take us out here today.
All right.
And you have got. I've been sitting here singing. I wanna rock all day long, or I don't know, you've got to take us out. Okay, you got to take us out with something. So give us something. How you're gonna rock your business? You got to take us out with something.
You have to realize that there's people out there working from their homes, making millions of dollars. There's kids. I read about a kid, 26 years old, sold his business for $4 million over in Brevard County, here in Florida. He started working out of his home, never had an office, never had a staff, created something. There's millions of people out there making billions of dollars. What they did that you might not be doing is they went for it. They took steps. They got help. They executed. Execution's the only thing that makes you money. And at some point, they stopped innovating and they took that step. And they went and executed and took steps to go forward and found the help they needed. And that's, there's very small things that make businesses go from good to great. Very small things. But the first step can never happen until you go out there and execute. Make 2014, make 2015 your year. You can. It's right there if you take those steps and do it.
That is awesome. Thank you so much,
Steve,
for being here today. So if you want to rock your business, I challenge you to contact Steve and contact everybody that was on the show today. Contact me and schedule your business assessment. It's a 1-hour free assessment available to all WOAMTEC members. I'm excited, and I want to help you rock your business all day long. Thanks for being here. I look forward to seeing you the first Wednesday of next month for another great show. Take care, and God bless.